Hey, it's Bex from Positively Together, and we are in the middle of a series of 2 Minute Tuesdays about cues and cue responses. So we've talked about the reasons why a horse, some of the reasons why a horse might not respond to the cue and what to do in these scenarios. So I just wanted to add another example, which is when a horse genuinely doesn't know the answer. So this is where we perhaps have overestimated the fluency of the association between cue and behaviour. And we are expecting that the animal knows the answer, and actually what they're demonstrating to us is that they don't. So what we might see in that scenario, a recent one that I saw with someone on one of my online courses, is that she beckoned the horse to come towards her, and in response the horse hesitated and then began to shift his weight backwards to do a backup. In other words, that tells me that there's probably been a cue either from that handler or a previous owner of this being a backup cue, which is quite common. And now this owner has asked for a come to me, and he's showing some confusion. So that's where the association between the cue and the behaviour is not as strong as perhaps she thought it was. So what she's going to do is simply change her cue. She's going to ask him to come to her by holding her fist out for him to come and touch it, or some other cue that is more distinct and more clear. So cue clarity is to blame for a lot of communication issues and hesitation, and sometimes anxiety and frustration from our horses. So really taking a step back and examining what it is we're doing when we cue and how clear we're actually being is really important, because after all, this is the only way that the horse knows what it is that we want him to do and how it is that he can earn a reinforcer, is through the clarity of our cue. So the reason that student on my online course recognised that is because she'd videoed herself, and upon watching the video back, it was quite clear to her what was happening. If she hadn't been able to watch it back or have a pair of objective eyes like mine to have a look and highlight the issue, then they may have continued to have that slightly frustrating or messy kind of communication between the two of them. So there's a tip to help resolve some of these issues: is pop your phone up on a fence, record it. You don't have to show anyone, you don't have to share it with anyone. Watch it back yourself to problem solve, and then you can delete it if you wish. But that's one really handy solution to ensuring that your communication is clear and your dialogue is flowing.